This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, February 15th, 2019. This is John Frenay, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. We've got some breaking news out of Brooklyn Park. Early yesterday evening, police tweeted out a message saying that they were on the scene of a homicide. Units are on the scene at the 5200 block of Wasena Avenue in Brooklyn for a homicide. It appears to be an isolated incident. There is no public safety threat. There are no further details at this time. However, we are hearing witness reports from the scene that have not been confirmed by police just yet that a woman was killed and her two children are suspects, one of which is in custody. Make sure you're checking back onto eyeonannapolis.net. A little bit later on today, we will have the full story on that as we learn more. Some bittersweet congratulations to Capital Gazette editor Rick Hutzell. He was the recipient of the National Press Foundation's Benjamin C. Bradley Editor of the Year Award at a ceremony in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday night. Hutzell received the award because of his leadership in the newsroom through and beyond the shooting of June 28th, when Wendy Winters, John McNamara, Rebecca Smith, Rob Hyacinth, and Gerald Fishman were shot to death. And in his comments, Hutzell mentioned each of them. I have to tell you about Rob, who would have done this better than me. Gerald, who would have been more eloquent. Wendy, who would have hurt our community in ways I can't. John, who would have provided quiet strength. And Rebecca, who was simply the nicest of us all. Again, well-deserved, but a bittersweet congratulations to Capitol editor Rick Hutzell. Late Wednesday afternoon, Annapolis Police were called to Juliana Circle for a reported armed home invasion. When they arrived, the victims reported that the suspect, Eric Burns of Laurel, who was an ex-boyfriend of the resident in the home, had called and threatened to kill her. He drove to the woman's home, exited his vehicle wearing a black coat with a hood pulled up, a knit hat, a face mask, and dark-colored pants. When an adult male was in the doorway of the home, Burns approached and pulled out a handgun, brandishing it at the man. The man blocked the door. Burns kicked it open, went through the house looking for the woman, did not find her, she was not there, and then fled the area in the vehicle. Burns did continue to communicate with the woman and threaten her life. Detectives were able to communicate directly with Burns and persuaded him to turn himself into the Annapolis Police Department yesterday, where he was arrested. He was charged with 10 criminal charges, which include home invasion, numerous handgun violations, and assault charges. This is an update on an Anne Arundel County murder back in July. Dante Nasham Sinnams had showed up at the Baltimore Washington Medical Center suffering from a gunshot wound. Police identified the location as being in the 500 block of Short Curve Road in Glen Burnie, and Simmons died shortly after the shooting. Through witness interviews and physical evidence collected at the scene, detectives did identify the suspect responsible, and he has been identified as Darius Devin Mackle, who is 19, from the 200 block of Victor Parkway here in Annapolis, Maryland. He was arrested in the early morning hours of February 13th without incident. He's been held without bond at the Jennifer Road Detention Center and charged with first and second degree murder, first degree assault, use of a firearm in a felony, possession of a handgun in a vehicle, and on a person. There were some disturbing flyers that were distributed on cars at South River High School during an incoming freshman orientation program. It did identify itself as saying that it was not an official Anne Arundel County Public School document, but it was against the new Global Community Citizenship course, which is going to be required starting next year with the incoming freshmen. The flyer is basically anonymous, and it only offers an email address to get on a mailing list, but the problem they have is that they want to wait for an online version of the course to see exactly what that course will talk about. One paragraph says, "We do not agree with the radical leftist course mandate pressed by the gang of 8 school board members that will politicize and dumb down the curriculum, brainwash and indoctrinate our kids to their agenda of globalization, anti-Americanism, and political correctness. We will not allow our parents' rights nor free speech rights and the free speech rights of our children to be trampled on by the Anne Arundel County Public Schools." We do suspect that similar flyers will be distributed at different high schools as they host incoming freshman nights. The Maryland House of Delegates passed legislation yesterday that will mandate $750,000 in annual payments to the city of Annapolis to cover costs that the city incurs on behalf of the General Assembly. However, that will not come until 2021. And this year, the governor has reduced the $367,000 that we have been typically getting over the years. Now, this bill moves over into the Senate, and if they change it, it has to go back to the House. But if it goes up to the governor, he has the choice of to veto the bill, let it become into law without signing it, or signing it, and there has been no indication from the governor's office which way he is leaning. Just a little bit of national news. The U.S. Senate resoundingly approved a border security compromise yesterday that ignores most of President Donald Trump's demands for building the wall, but it does prevent a government shutdown. The White House said that Trump would sign it, but also declare a national emergency and perhaps invoke additional executive powers to try to shift money to wall building from elsewhere in the federal budget. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer quickly branded the presidential declaration as a lawless act, a gross abuse of power of the presidency, and a desperate attempt to distract from the fact that President Trump broke his core promise to have Mexico pay for the wall. Republicans are said to be a little bit on edge, and they have warned that future Democratic presidents could use this move to force spending on their own priorities like gun control. All right, that does it for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day, and we will have an update on that murder up in Brooklyn Park. Please give us a recommendation to your friends and colleagues and give us a rating and a review if you're someplace where you can do that. Check out that first link in our show notes because it tells you all the different ways that you can get in touch with us. And you want to hang tight because it is Friday, so we've got our list of things to do. And of course, as we do every day of the week, we have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast coming up after this message from WRNR.
Join WRNR for the 7th Annual Holistic Health Fair, Saturday, February 16th at the Hotel Annapolis. Find healing and health through a more natural approach with displays and demos for everything from Pilates to pet therapy. Plus, healthy living and wellness experts will be on site for group and one-on-one sessions. Interested in a healthier lifestyle? Join us at the 7th Annual WRNR Holistic Health Fair. Details at WRNR.com.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, February 15th. Today is now expected to be another very dry day across the DMV as things have slowed down a bit and temps should be very warm in the 60 to 65 degree range, though temps will drop big time this weekend into the 40s or even only 30s for highs, with a couple of chances for rain or snow or some mixed precipitation off and on throughout the entire weekend. And the same is true for much of next week, as it is possible that something is actively falling from the sky Monday into at least Wednesday or Thursday, so stay tuned for updates on this one. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great weekend out there despite the sloppy weather, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DC MDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Get your house in order. We all have our wish list for our house, interior, exterior, lawn, or garden. Come on out to the Mid-Atlantic Exposition's Annapolis Spring Home and Garden Expo on February 23rd and 24th in Annapolis. Come on out and hear TLC and HGTV's Vern Yip dish the tips on making your home something incredible. Visit dozens of home improvement contractors and suppliers and kick back for seminars about remodeling, common tree problems, staging your home before you sell it, or getting antique appraised. You know, they even have some wine tasting from Cove Point Winery. The Annapolis Spring Home and Garden Expo is Saturday, February 23rd from 10 to 6 and Sunday the 24th from noon to 5 at the Byzantium Center on Riva Road. Admission's only $5, and when you come out, you'll automatically be entered into the She Shed sweepstakes. I'm not going to say that a second time, but you could win a she shed valued at $3,000 from Pine Creek Structures. The Annapolis Spring Home and Garden Expo, February 23rd and 24th at the Byzantium Center. We'll see you there.
Every weekend, there's something exciting going on in the Annapolis area. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for a newsletter highlighting all the weekend events. Here are our top picks for this weekend.
Thank God it's
It is the weekend and there is always something going on, and it starts tonight at Galway Bay. From 9 to midnight, it is St. Practice Day, and it's a party with Dublin 5 featuring the debut of Slane Whiskey, which is a new whiskey that they are going to be serving there at Galway Bay. It is a free concert by Dublin 5, which is a great party band if you have never seen them. And Galway Bay is just a really cool, chill place to party down on Maryland Avenue. So head on down there tonight from 9 till midnight, give a taste of the new Slane Whiskey, and have some fun with Dublin 5. Tomorrow morning at the Hotel Annapolis, which is formerly the Lowe's Hotel, it is the 7th annual WRNR FM Holistic Health Fair. And this is kind of a fun event. It's free. Every year they do it. And pretty much anything healthy or holistic will be represented there at the Hotel Annapolis. Everything from Pilates to pet therapy, integrative life coaching, Anne Arundel County Department of Health will be there, weight loss centers, skincare, natural beauty, psychic solutions, spas, float spas, cryogenics. It is free at the Hotel Annapolis in downtown Annapolis. Also tomorrow afternoon, this is sort of a unique tour that you can do, and this is in celebration of Black History Month. Watermark Tours is having an African American Heritage Tour. It does get underway tomorrow at 1 p.m. It goes till 3 p.m. It is a walking tour. It will cost you $20, but it will explore the history and culture of African Americans, including Thurgood Marshall Memorial, the Alex Haley Memorial. It'll be led by period dress tour guides, and it's offered in partnership with the Kunta Kinte Alex Haley Foundation, and at the end, it's going to end at the Banneker Douglas Museum, which is quite a place to see as well. You can find out more information or make reservations at AnnapolisTours.com and then just navigate over to the African American Heritage Tour there. Sunday, get a little bit of culture. Head on over to the Mitchell Gallery. And if you don't know where the Mitchell Gallery is, shame on you. This is our world-class art gallery right on the campus of St. John's College. Art educator Lucinda Edinburgh is going to lead a tour of the exhibition on view, which is called Painted Pages, Illuminated Manuscripts from the 13th to the 18th centuries. This gets underway at 3 o'clock. It goes till 5 p.m., and it is free. The Mitchell Gallery at St. John's is at 60 College Avenue in Annapolis, and you can get more information at sjc.edu and then navigate to Mitchell Gallery. And I do recommend that you bookmark that page and keep an eye on that because they do bring some really fantastic exhibitions in throughout the year. Well, that is about it for the weekend. Whatever you decide to do, please make sure you do it safely. We want to see you here on Monday, and have a great one.
Imagine your child saying,
"Guess what I learned in school today?"
At St. Andrews, it happens every day. We asked Emma and Lawson why.
We grow winter greens in our garden to make smoothies. Second graders are the chicken checkers, and our 8th graders take care of our goats.
Our classes are the perfect size, which means we get to know each other well, and our teachers know us.
Visit St. Andrews Day School's open house Friday, March 8th from 9 to 11 a.m. or call 410-266-0952 for a tour. You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.